So ever since I started making these videos, this has been one of the ones that I've actually planned ahead and really looked forward to. If you've watched any of my videos before, you know that I don't really edit anything. I don't have a script. I just kind of just talk off the cuff. I don't really plan my videos, and more so just when I get a hit of inspiration, I'll just think of what I'm gonna say about that topic and then just turn the camera on and just start talking. But this has been one that I've been looking forward to for a little while, and it's a 19-year-old's 19 life lessons. It is currently 11:58 on Tuesday, August 8th, which is my birthday. So I just turned 19. There's 2 minutes left in my birthday, but it's weird. It's going out on a Tuesday, but my 19th birthday, I'm gonna have a good time. Just enjoyed some time with my family, got back, so it was a good birthday. Anyways, back to the video. It's funny, when I was thinking about this, it was funny saying, like, what advice are people going to take from a 19-year-old? Like, I'm 19 years old, like, what have I learned about life? Like, there's so much I still haven't learned, but I haven't really lived a normal 19-year-old's life up until now. Just for a little backstory, I am the youngest of 4 siblings. My three siblings are 9 years, 8 years, and 7 years older than me. So I've had the unique privilege of learning from them, watching all their steps, and it's an age gap where they're not too old. They're not too much more older than me. They're not too much older than me to the point where what they've learned is sort of irrelevant to me when I get to their age. But they're also old enough that enough time has passed by their decisions that they made at their age that they have time to contemplate about it and teach me about their decision and why it was the right decision or the wrong decision. So needless to say, I've learned a lot about them. I've learned a lot about myself through their experiences. Two of my siblings are married and have already moved out of the house. My third sibling is becoming a priest. Very interesting family dynamic, but it's a very interesting household, and I've learned a lot from them. I've learned a lot through myself, and this sort of dynamic has made me grow up and mature faster than most 19-year-olds needed to. But I like that situation. It's more so like a sink or swim, where you're forced to grow up and you're forced to make these decisions and you're forced to become your own man, and I enjoy it. I wouldn't have it any other way. So my life has been different than everybody else's. I've also started my own company, as some of you may know through watching my videos. I've assisted in the development of 2 other companies. And I'm proud to say that I've had as much success as I could ask for at my age. Obviously, there have been others who are much more successful than I am. If you're in the self-improvement space, you definitely know of people who are much more successful at my age. But I'm happy to say that I'm proud of what I've accomplished, and I know that there's still a lot more in the future, God willing. And it's been a crazy 19 years, to say the least. And this last 24 hours has really put things into perspective. In this last year, I've had this plan where every time someone said something or I had an experience that really hit my heart, or like really, I don't know how to say the proper phrase, it really ingrained itself in me, I write it down immediately, whatever happened. So I sort of synopsized everything that happened to me over the last year, over the last 19 years, I should say, distilled it down into 19 life lessons. And right now I'm way too tired to continue this. It's midnight. I don't know. I don't like staying out late. That's not me. Maybe I'll stay up late sometimes, but I don't like staying out late. So I'm gonna just wanted to introduce the video, introduce the concept for the video, the idea, and why I feel qualified to give these 19 life lessons. So without further ado, I'm going to get some rest, and I'll continue the 19 life lessons tomorrow. I apologize in advance. This is going to be a very long video, and this might be the first time I have to edit one of these videos and trim the clips together. So, good night from me. Future Raf, take it away. It is now Sunday, August 13th, 8:25 p.m. Been a few days since I started off the video, but I have to have some experience as a 19-year-old to make this video, so I figured I should take a few days. So I feel like I should just jump into the first one. And I never plan out my videos, I just usually do it off inspiration. I don't write anything down, but for this one I actually prepped some jot notes just so I can remember all 19 lessons. And yes, I write in orange because my company's called Mango Marketing, so I just figured the orange is fitting, but it's besides the point. Anyway, first lesson: know your place and learn. So pretty much what this means is, if you're in a room full of people and you know that you're not the most successful one there, don't talk. There are certain situations where you just need to know your place, and that doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's not like, oh, you're inferior, but like, if you know that there's things to learn from people, know your place. Don't talk too much. Just listen, absorb the information, take it all in. I mean, when I'm with a group of people, the first thing I do is I don't start immediately just talking. First, I try to assess the situation. I try to assess the scenario. I try to figure out the vibe of the situation, for lack of a better word, and I'll try to learn from people. Even if I'm the more successful one, even if I know that I'm better in certain situations, there's nothing wrong with just not talking and listening. Listening is a skill. Learning is a skill. The more you listen, the more you'll learn, and the more knowledgeable you'll be, so that you can eventually be the one who teaches everybody. But in certain situations, you need to know your place. Don't talk, listen, learn, and absorb it. That's my first lesson. Lesson number 2, block out the noise, create your own path. In the self-improvement space and in the online business and online learning space, there is so much noise. Everywhere you go, it's about affiliate marketing or drop shipping or starting an online agency, or do you want to make $10,000 a month online? There is so much noise. There's no emphasis on creating your own path. Everything is about, buy my course, listen to me. I know this sounds funny coming from someone who has a marketing agency and I'm not really a YouTuber, but someone who makes YouTube videos in the self-improvement space. But the point is, don't just listen to everyone who talks to you. You need to know what to look out for, because there's so much noise and there's so many things that look like they're trying to help you, but in reality, they're just gonna pull you away from your path, and they're just gonna make you deviate away from your path, and it's gonna take even longer to achieve your goals if you keep listening to all these things. If you keep bringing the noise in, you need to block that out. You need to do some deep internal digging. You need to figure out what your path is. You need to figure out how you're gonna be successful in your life. And success can mean many things. It doesn't just have to be monetary. It can be spiritual, it can be family-wise. You need to figure out what your success is. You need to figure out what your goals are. You need to block out the noise, create your own vision, create your own path, and follow it. There's way too much stuff. There's too many people who think that they'll teach you something, but in reality, it's all a cash grab. Block out the noise, create your own path. Number 3, if you're afraid of people judging you, you're already judging yourself. This kind of ties into my last lesson. And by the way, all these lessons, they don't really have an order. I just tried to make them flow a little bit, but like they'll tie into each other a little bit. So number 3, if you're afraid of judgment, you're already judging yourself. The point being is that too many people are afraid to do something because they think that people will judge them. I mean, these videos, not a lot of people see them, but still, I was nervous to start because I was saying, oh, my friends are going to see this, people are going to see this, and they're going to be like, oh, what's this guy doing making videos about self-improvement? It's kind of weird. It's kind of odd, but who cares? Realistically speaking, who cares? It's all noise. Once again, if you're judging yourself already. You're your own worst critic. You're going to criticize yourself much harder than other people actually will. And in reality, who cares? There are certain things that you know that will be best for you, do it. If there are things that people are judging you on because you know they're actually not the best decisions, then maybe they have the right to judge. But if there are things that you know will be good for you and good for others, but you're nervous to start or do them because of judgment, You're judging yourself and you're being your own worst enemy. Get out of your own way. You're being your own noise, so you need to block yourself out sometimes. Lesson number 4. People come and go. I'm only 19, I haven't really experienced that much, but in reality, I've experienced enough to know that some people who you think are going to be in your life for a long time, they're not going to be. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because I'm a firm believer that things happen for a reason, and not everyone is meant to play an instrumental part in your life. There are some people who are going to be in your life forever. There's some people who are only there for certain chapters, and that's okay. Things happen, people grow, people evolve, people learn, and you need to accept that sometimes people are there for only specific reasons in your life, and once those reasons have been achieved or fulfilled, they're going to go. And that's fine, because the people who are most valuable to you, the people who are most important to you, will always be there for you. But there are going to be people who are going to come and go for various reasons, and that's fine. So that's something that people need to accept, and they need to learn that it's not always a bad thing. People come into your life, they're joyous, they're great, it's an amazing time, and you enjoy it, but then things happen and they fall away. But that's just something that people need to accept. It's a life lesson, it happens, and you grow from it. People came and went from my life, and if that didn't happen, then I wouldn't be who I am today. So I'm happy for that. Everything happens for a reason, and it's something that people have to accept. Number 5, growing pains are necessary. And this is literal and figural. Literally, because I have something in my knees called Osgood-Schlatter's. It's a weird name. It's pretty much a bump under my knee, and it's like an extra bone. Well, not extra bone, but like the bone grows outwards instead of up. So yeah, it happened during my growth spurt. So had a lot of growing pains growing up, but hey, besides the point. Growing pains are necessary. This kind of ties into my last point of people come and go. Because if you really want to grow, if you want to become a better person, if you want to become stronger, more disciplined, things are going to happen that you don't want to do. Waking up early when it's dark outside, it's a growing pain. It's going to strengthen you. You're going to grow from it, but it's going to be difficult in the time being. Growing pains are 100% necessary, because you don't grow, you become resilient. No one becomes resilient by taking the easy way out. The easy way out is the easy way out because it's really not going to get you anywhere. If the hard work is the thing that's actually going to if hard work moves the needle, why would you ever want to do the easy work when it's not going to do anything? Wouldn't you want to do something knowing that it's actually going to get you somewhere? Because yeah, the easy way out is going to be easier. You're not really going to have to put too much effort into it. It's not going to take up too much of your day. But if you know that the hard work is going to get you to where you want to be, why wouldn't you want to do it? Growing pains are necessary to get you where you want to be, because the reason that it's possible to get to where you want to be is because there's someone else in the world who isn't willing to do that work. You need to be better than that person. You need to be better than yourself. You need to strengthen yourself every single day so that you can grow, you can be stronger, and you can be the person that you want to be. Number 6, it's not worth it to impress others. It's really not. I mean, who are you fooling? Yes, you're impressing others. Great job. People think that you're a big shot. But then they're just going to talk behind you. They're going to talk about you behind your back. There's 2 sides to a coin for everything. Impressing others is just going to be a waste of your time, a waste of your assets, a waste of your knowledge. You're going to waste so much effort and energy into impressing others and people who don't really care. I mean, there are some people in your family who, yes, you want to impress them. You want them to be proud of you. There's a difference between having others be impressed and others being proud. Make the people around you and who are close to you, make them proud of you. But you don't have to just impress them, especially people you don't really care about. Your family, yes, you want them to be proud of you. Your close friends, your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, yes, you want them to be proud of you. You don't just need to impress others for the sake of impressing others. It's another life lesson. That ties into the next one. Lesson number 7, stop talking and just do it. I did this so much, where I would talk about something, I'd hype something, I'd be like, oh, I got all this coming in now, it's gonna be so great, in a couple months time, it's gonna be so successful, everything's gonna be so good. But then would that even happen? No. I just talk about it. Because every time you talk about something, and every time you talk about your own success, it's gonna give you that hit of dopamine. You're gonna feel better about yourself. Once again, you're impressing others for the sake of making yourself feel better. Stop doing that. Do the hard work. Do what you're said you're gonna do. Better yet, don't say anything and just do it. Don't impress people with your words. Walk the walk. Don't just talk. Do what you really need to do. In the long run, people will probably be impressed if that's really your end goal. Shouldn't be. But by actually getting the work done, instead of just talking about it, that's way better than just talking about it. I mean, I'd rather be the owner of a super successful company in real life, instead of the owner of a super successful company in my friend's head. Stop talking. Go out and do it. It's so easy to do things these days. Everything is at your disposal. You can do it from your laptop, your phone, anything. Just go out and do what you said you're gonna do. You don't need to talk about everything. Not everyone needs to know. Work in silence. Be strong, be resilient. And then eventually people will see that you put in the hard work. It's not luck, it's work. Number 8, people will doubt you. A lot of people will doubt you. If you're serious about the self-improvement thing, if you're serious about achieving your goals, if you're serious about doing the things that you set out to do, people will 100% doubt you. I mean, when I first started my business, I'm still a university student, but people were always saying, oh, how are you going to start a business? How are you going to do it at the same time as university? Like, that's impossible. You're not going to be able to do anything, and you're going to waste your time. Who cares? People are going to doubt you. And 95% of the time that people doubt you is because they're jealous that they haven't done it themselves. Doesn't that fuel you a little bit, knowing that people are like, it shouldn't, but like, people who are envious of you a little bit, knowing that people are jealous of what you can do and the strength that you have and the resilience that you have, doesn't that fuel you a little bit? Make you want to be better, make you want to work harder, and show them that, like, yeah, you should be a little bit jealous of what I can do. Doesn't that want to make you be better? I mean, people are going to doubt you. Who cares? I remember, I don't listen to Cardi B much, but I saw this one TikTok where she won a Grammy, and she was like, what was she saying? She was also shouting out all the people who dislike her music, because at the end of the day, in order to dislike her music, you have to listen to it. She's getting paid based off how many times people listen to her music. So the more attention that people give to you by doubting you or hating on you, that's just giving you more attention. That's giving you more publicity, and it's going to give you more strength. Doubters should fuel you a little bit. People are going to doubt you. Don't let them get in your head. Once again, block out the noise, make your own path. Number 9, know and assess your worth. This is something really important, especially in relationships, friendships, anything to do with school. Know and assess your worth. Let's use this example. This happened to my friend recently, where he's a great guy, took very good care of his girlfriend. Everything was always done for her. Great guy, love him to death. Respectable gentleman always, at all times. But his girlfriend just never treated him right, ever. And he was kind of blinded by it. And we all knew this, all of my friends knew this for a long time. But he didn't assess his own worth. He didn't think that he was worth having someone better in his life, because he thought that that's what he was worth. You have to know and assess your worth often. Something that I do is I journal every single night, but every now and then, I don't know, this kind of sounds kind of self-centered now that I talk about it, but every now and then, maybe like once every couple weeks, when I'm not feeling a little bit down about myself, I'll just write 1 or 2 things that I like about myself. When you write something that you like about yourself, you realize, hey, maybe I'm not all that bad. And that'll sort of raise your confidence. It'll raise your self-worth. You need to know your worth. You need to know what you're worth. And this comes to business as well. If a client says, no, I'm not going to pay you this much because I truly don't believe that it's too much. I truly believe that it's too much money. You have to show them why you're worth it. You need to show yourself why you're worth it. You're your own best salesman. If you don't know your strengths and key points, then how is anyone else going to know that? You need to convince yourself of what you're worth before you can convince others of what you're worth. Know yourself, know your strengths, and convince others of why you're worth it. Convince yourself first of why you're worth it, so that you can convince others of why you're worth it. Number 10, this one ties into the last one. Assess yourself, assess your strengths, assess your weaknesses, then make your weaknesses into a strength. One of the first books that I read in my self-improvement journey was David and Goliath. The book's on my desk. I don't want to reach it right now because it takes me too long to set myself up in the frame and all that. But it's a book called David and Goliath. I talked about it in a video before. David and Goliath by Malcolm Gladwell. Fantastic book. Love it. It's all about people who they approach things in a different way than everyone else. So I remember there's this one, I've always played basketball, so this story I really like this story about that Malcolm Gladwell put in the book. But it was about a father who became the coach for his 10-year-old daughter's basketball team. And so the basketball team wasn't that great. Before the father became the coach, they were on like a 12-game losing streak, I think, something like that, because they weren't stronger than the other girls. They weren't more athletic. They couldn't shoot the ball very well. So instead of trying to play like everyone else played, the father set up a new strategy where he would do a full court press on every single play. For those of you who don't know, a full court press pretty much means that in basketball, after a team scores a point, usually the team who got scored on will inbound the ball and then dribble it up the court to go on offense. Usually that'll happen and the defense won't really try to stop them from getting up the court. But a full court press means that the team on defense will be hounding whoever's trying to pass in the ball. They'll be hounding everyone trying to dribble the ball. They're just trying to make sure that the ball doesn't get past half court, and they're trying to play strong defense so that the other team can't get on offense. So they try to steal the ball before they even get on offense. It's a great strategy, but it's very tiring because you waste all your energy on defense and you have no energy for offense. But anyways, all the father did when he started coaching was condition the girls so that they could run as long as possible. They could outrun any team. Their endurance was way better than any other team. And all they did was full court press every single team they ever played. And from then on out, they just kept winning and winning and winning and winning until the final game where they lost because they stopped full court pressing. Basically what he did is he assessed their strengths and their weaknesses. He found that their weakness was pretty much everything to do with basketball. So he changed that weakness, changed the rules of the game pretty much for himself, and he turned their weakness into a strength. Assess yourself, assess your weaknesses, assess your strengths, and turn those weaknesses into strengths so that you can become a better person. Number 11, take a breath. Probably wrote this to myself as like a pause as well in case I needed to cut the video and start again later afterward. But number 11, take a breath. This is really important. Life moves incredibly fast. In the last year, 3 of my siblings have gotten married. I graduated high school, started a company, started university. A lot of things happen very quickly. And it's important to sometimes sit down, take a breath, journal, do things that slow you down. It's important that when things feel too fast, you slow down. It's pretty much when your mind is racing, slow down, read a book, journal, meditate, things like that. Then when you're feeling a little bit more dull, speed up, go on a run, do some exercise, do some breathing exercises. Slow down, speed up, take a breath. These things are important because when you don't slow down and take a breath, you lose sight of the things that matter around you most, such as your family, such as your mental health, such as your physical health, your well-being, your religion, if that's important to you. it's important to take a breath and just see everything that's happened around you. Because if you don't, you lose track of everything and you kind of miss out on the more beautiful things in life. Yeah, so it's important. Take a breath, rest, do your thing. Then when you're ready, go back at it, but approach it at full speed. Number 12, perspective is everything. Like I said early in the video, there's always two sides to a coin. And you can look at things glass half full, you can look at things glass half empty. Perspective is everything. And this also has to do with certain situations where if you believe, this guy was being incredibly rude to me today, and he's just a bad person in your head. You don't know what happened in his life. Maybe he got into, God forbid, a car accident that morning. Maybe, I don't know, he dropped his phone in the subway station. Things like that. It's just you don't know what's happening in people's lives. And there's always different perspectives to everything. You need to try and look at things through a different lens and different perspective, because things change so quickly. And if you look at things through one side all the time, you're going to lose out on half the other beauties in life. You're going to lose out on half the other, the ugliness in life, for lack of a better word. You need to have both. You need to have both perspectives, and you need to realize that there's always two sides to a coin. Number 13, I actually watched this one on Instagram a couple months ago, and it kind of stuck with me. It was one of those street interviews, and a pedestrian who was just walking by didn't notice that they were doing a street interview, and he walked right past the camera. And the guy conducting the interview said, people just don't realize like that people are recording here, or like that stuff's going on. And the guy being interviewed all of a sudden said, like, some people are just living in their own world. Some people have their own things going on. You have things going on. I have things going on. No one knows. And the one thing that he said that really stuck with me is that malice can also be confused with incompetence, or incompetence can be confused with malice, which basically means like sometimes what you believe to be rudeness or malice or anger or just something that's meant to be bad towards you can also just be incompetence or stupidity. Pretty much it means don't take life too seriously. Things happen. Not everyone is out to get you, and sometimes people are just downright dumb. There's no better word for it. There are things in life where, yes, people are trying to be rude to you, or trying to harm you, or trying to hurt you. But there are also things that just people don't realize that what they're doing. Yes, obviously it doesn't feel good either way, even if people are being stupid and they accidentally say something that offends you or hurts you. But you can't take everything too seriously. Things happen. Everyone said something that they regret saying, even if they didn't have the intention of saying it in the way it came out. Things happen. You can't take everything too seriously. And malice can be incompetence. Incompetence can be malice. Who knows? Like I said, two sides to a story. Life lesson number 14. You need to be the one to make the decision. I'm sure everyone has had a time where their mom or dad or sibling has had to be the one to get them out of bed because their alarm isn't doing enough for them, or they just can't get out of bed that day. You're not the one making the decision to get out of bed there. Someone else is making that decision for you. What I mean by you need to make the decision is that you need to be the one who decides to clean up your act, get your life together, improve yourself, become the person who you know you can be. No one else can force you into that. Yes, obviously there are certain situations that will make you want to be better, and those can be a sort of wake-up call for you. But at the end of the day, your mom or dad isn't going to be the one that's going to push you to start doing that. You need to be the one to make a decision. Because it's like cleaning your room, for example. If you decide to clean your room on your own, like by your own choice, then you'll do it, no problem. It's fine. You'll even enjoy it maybe. But if your mom or dad is the one who tells you to clean your room, then you're going to hate doing it because it's been a direct order towards you. Someone tells you to get your act together, you're not going to want to get your act together, and you're not going to do it wholeheartedly. But if you're the one who makes the decision to get your act together, clean yourself up, go through your self-improvement, then you're going to do it wholeheartedly because it's something you really believe in. It's something that you believe is important. At the end of the day, there's only so much influence that people can have on you. I wonder how many times I've said at the end of the day. But nevertheless, like I said, you need to be the one who says it. You need to be the one who makes the final decision because this is your life. It's not anyone else's life. If you decide that this is good for you, you're going to attack it with 100%, with 100% strength, with 100% power. And you're going to be completely fine with it because it's your decision. If someone else forces you into it, you're not going to put in as much effort. Life lesson number 15. When unsure, underpromise. This happened to me in basketball a few weeks ago where we were playing pickup and they asked for a score check. It was in the middle of the game. And one of my teammates yelled out that we had 3 points. We were playing 1st to 7. I knew we didn't have 3 points, but he just kind of yelled it out. He said that he wasn't sure either. And then one of the older guys, one of the veterans on my team, on the other team, he just stopped the game, put the ball down, and he just started yelling at him. He said that he didn't want any of these cheap rules. He didn't want any cheap points. He wanted to play the game properly. And pretty much, if you're unsure about a score, just say 0 and then count out the points. Don't just throw out, we have 3 points. When you're unsure about how well you're doing or how well you can do something, underpromise. Worst case scenario is that you achieve what you said you were going to do because you underpromised. Even if you believe that you're underpromising too much, even if you achieve that, at least you didn't break your promise. It's always better to underpromise and overdeliver than to overpromise and underdeliver. People's trust can be broken so easily. So why try to break it with something so small? It's much better to be truthful and honest about what you can do and what your what's the word I'm looking for here? About what your, not your objectives, but of your, I can't think of the right word. It's much better to be honest about your capabilities than to boast about them and then not be able to actually back up what you said. So when unsure, underpromise and overdeliver. It's always better. Number 16, this one might be a slap in the face to some people, but stop wasting your time. Plain and simple. Since I started recording this video, it's been, I don't know, probably half an hour, something like that. All these minutes, all these seconds that have gone by, I can't get that time back. You can't get that time back. You watch this video. But at least this video is somewhat, I don't know, you can get some amount of knowledge out of it. Even if you get one thing out of this, I'll take that as a success. But stop wasting your time. I mean, like, how many hours a day do you spend scrolling on TikTok? Or going through Instagram? Or gossiping about people? Or doing things that really aren't worth your time? I know that a majority of people who are watching this are going to be very young, like probably under the age of like 25, 26. And yeah, you can always make the excuse that, yes, I'm young, I have all the time in the world, but do you really? Even if you do have all the time in the world, do you want to spend that time doing things that are counterproductive or even harmful to yourself and others? Stop wasting your time. Do things that you know are going to help yourself and others around you. I don't mean to come off as rude, but that's just how it is. So many people waste so much of their time every single day. And it's a big problem. That's part of the reason why it's so much easier to get ahead in this day and age, because most people are worried about the wrong things and spend their time doing the wrong things, aside from going after what they actually want in life. Stop wasting your time. You're not going to get this time back. All these seconds that pass by, all these minutes, all these hours, all these days, you're not going to get them back. Do something productive. Do something that you're going to be proud of and that the people who are close around you are going to be proud of. Number 17, this one I got from the Steph Curry documentary, Underrated, and his mother actually said this. She said that it's not about proving others wrong, it's about proving yourself right. Great quote, loved it. As soon as I heard that, I wrote it down in my notes. Don't prove others wrong, prove yourself right. Like I said earlier, it's, what did I say? Impressing others isn't worth it, or people will doubt you. It's better to prove yourself right. You want to make yourself proud. You want to make the people who are actually close to you proud. Your inner circle and yourself is the most important thing. Why try to waste your time proving others wrong when you can just prove that you were right all along? It's like winning an argument. You know that you're right. That makes you feel better at the end. Focus on yourself. Focus on what you believe you can do, not what others believe you can't do. It's much easier. Life lesson number 18. What you give is what you get. And this is so incredibly true. The first 6 months of starting my business, I had zero traction. Nothing was working. And I always blamed, I don't know, I pitied myself, and I just didn't do the right thing. I was thinking that I was blaming everyone except myself. And it's because I wasn't giving 100% of my effort. What you give is what you get. If you really want 100% results, you need to give 100% effort. I was doing the bare minimum, and yet I was expecting great results. It's not how it works. What you give is what you get. If you want great results, you have to put in great effort, and vice versa. If you put in great effort, you will expect great results. This comes to everything in life. It comes to school, it comes to sports, it comes to relationships, it comes to, I don't know, building furniture, anything. What you give is what you get. If you work hard, you can play hard. If you play hard, you expect to work hard as well. It's all about balance. And the last one, number 19, my last life lesson. Take the leap. What's the worst that can happen? Like I said, people are going to doubt you. You'll probably doubt yourself. You'll probably judge yourself a little bit, but just take the leap. If there's something you want to do in this life, go for it. If there's something that's important to you, go for it. If it's something that you believe will be helpful to you, maybe help others as well, go for it. Take the leap. What's the worst that can happen? It doesn't work out. At least you learn something from it. Every failure is an opportunity for success. Every failure is an opportunity for learning and for growth. Failure is not the enemy of success. It's kind of like its weird uncle, where it teaches you about it, teaches you how to gain success. If you know that something doesn't work, then you're not going to do it again. Plain and simple. Take the leap. What's the worst that can happen? It's much better to know that it can't be done after you've already tried, instead of spending your whole life wondering if you can do it. Just take the leap. Go for it. Work hard. Put in the work. What you give is what you get. Put in 100% effort. Now I'm going to do one quick speed run over all 19 of them. Number 1, know your place and learn. Number 2, block out the noise, create your own path. Number 3, if you're afraid of judgment, you're already judging yourself. Number 4, people will come and go from your life. Number 5, growing pains are necessary. Number 6, impressing others isn't worth it. Number 7, stop talking about it, just do it. I feel like Shia LaBeouf right there. Number 8, people will doubt you. Number 9, know and assess your worth frequently. Number 10, make your weaknesses a strength. Number 11, take a breath. Number 12, perspective is everything. Number 13, malice can be incompetence. Number 14, you need to be the one to make the decision. Number 15, when unsure, underpromise. Number 16, stop wasting your time. Number 17, don't prove others wrong, prove yourself right. Number 18, what you give is what you get. And number 19, take the leap. These are my 19 life lessons from a 19-year-old. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you took something out of it. And hope to see you in the next video. Take care.